Welcome to Rooted Agritourism. I'm Dr. Liz Fiedler Mergen, owner of Sunny Mary Meadow, a U-Pick flower farm, wedding florist, and event venue in central Minnesota. Our mission is to serve anyone rooted in agritourism, value-added agriculture, and rural entrepreneurship. The people turning ideas and raw products into thriving businesses and experiences. Let's dig in. Hello and welcome back to the Rooted Agritourism podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Liz Fiedler Mergen, and today we're going to dig deep. Maybe we're going to dig. I got to get my farming pun in here. We're going to dig deep into what is value-added agriculture and what that actually means. It's not just a buzzword, but you hear it all the time and you're like, okay, well, how do I add value? What does that mean? And it's the difference for my farm between surviving and thriving. And it might be just doing a little bit differently with what you already have. And so I have, the same soil, the same crop, but it's the difference between one farmer barely breaking even and another building a business that supports them and maybe other families. And that is value-added agriculture. Value-added agriculture is as simple as this: taking what you already grow or produce as a farmer and increase its value before it reaches the end user. So it's not more land, more inputs, more acres, trying to do more. It's increasing the value to what you're already doing. So for example, wheat, you turn it into flour, you turn it into bread. Milk, you turn it into cheese and you sell it at your ice cream shop or whatever. Flowers, there could be bulk stems, you can design weddings, you can have on-farm events. It's the same product, but what people are willing to pay for that product is significantly different. Not just inflating the price, but increasing the value and what people want to pay for it and how people are enjoying the product and how they're learning about your product. And so wholesale is essentially selling to a middleman and retail is selling to the end user. And my customers, I've done a lot of work of explaining that, hey, are you wholesale or retail? If you are a wholesaler and you're going to buy large volumes of it and you're reselling it and you're coming back repeatedly throughout the year, I have different pricing for you compared to the retail price. And people understand that. I'm not going to give them buckets of my premium ranunculus. There's supply and demand. There's only so many of them. So you either have to buy them as a wedding customer, as an event customer, or as a florist that's going to repeatedly buy other things throughout the year. I can't just sell them one time and not capitalize on the fact that they're a premium, supply and demand. And so I can sell those flowers wholesale for maybe $1.50 a stem, $2. I can sell direct to the consumer for maybe $4 a stem. I can arrange them, and then it's a $150 arrangement. I can host it in a workshop for $75, or I could host a wedding or host another sort of event, a bridal shower, and that can be, up to $1,000. So it's the same flowers, same product, same space, same farm, but the difference is that it is the experience, the convenience of not having to do it themselves, and the relationship. And so customers would rather pay the end person than the middleman. They understand that it doesn't mean it's cheaper. It's something that they usually can't get anywhere else, especially for that price. And so to meet the farmer, to see where it's grown, to feel connected, they're not just buying flowers, they're buying the story of the flower, of the product. And the old model was always the farmer, the distributor, the retailer, then the customer, and everyone takes a cut. And now you're seeing a growing increase of farmer direct to the consumer. But that farmer, they keep a lot of the margin. However, the farmer is now taking on the marketing, the customer service, and all of that trade-off of providing a good experience for that customer. And it is a tremendous amount of work. Let's not pretend like it's not, but that's also where the opportunity is. And I think that I am not alone in experiencing the agritourism misunderstanding. I have lived it. When I was expanding my farm, I had a neighbor try to, in writing, get the county to redefine agritourism at a local level, on a county level, even though the state, even though the USDA already has a very defined definition of agritourism. This couple wrote that a local cidery was manipulating their permit on the guise of agritourism and said that it should only count if they're selling a product. They should not be able to host weddings, etc. And there's a huge problem with that thinking. And it got completely thrown out. There was nothing attached to it. But that assumes that agriculture only has the value at the point of production, and that the only thing that counts is the raw product. So that means there's the bushel of apples, but the picking of apples in the orchard experience doesn't count, or that the cidery doesn't count, the venue doesn't count. And it's just an outdated thinking, because agriculture today is so much more. It is education, it is experience, connection, access. Because if someone comes to the farm and they attend a workshop, or they host a wedding, or they bring their kids, or they buy a bouquet, or they take pictures in a pumpkin patch, or they go through a corn maze, they're supporting agriculture, and they're funding agriculture, and they're funding a family. They're supporting a family. They're keeping the land in the hands of those that are going to continue to treat it well. And I say this all the time. Would you rather have data centers and solar farms, or would you rather have families running a corn maze, or running a pumpkin patch, or running events out of their farm? Ultimately, commodity pricing is out of your control. We cannot control global markets. We cannot control fuel costs. We cannot control input costs. But what farmers can control is how we sell, who we sell it to, what we build around our product. And value-added agriculture creates that margin. It builds loyalty. It can help stabilize income for families, and it keeps farms alive. Because I also want to remind you that this is not the easy route. You will work more hours, and you will have to deal with people directly, and you will wear more hats. But you can also set your prices. You can build something meaningful, and you can create a business, not just a farm. And so, to come full circle, the difference between surviving and thriving is not more land. Sometimes it's just one idea, one pivot, one decision to sell things differently. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope that it was helpful. And if you have someone that's considering making a pivot on their farm, please send it to them and share it. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rooted Agritourism. If you enjoyed it, please leave a 5-star review and share it with someone who would find it helpful or inspiring. Your support helps us reach more rural entrepreneurs, dreamers, and doers just like you. You can explore all of our resources at sunnymarymeadowcoaching.com, where you'll find each episode in blog form along with free resources to help grow your business. You'll also find info on upcoming on-farm and virtual workshops, classes, and courses. Be sure to check out our monthly membership, Foundations of Peddling Perishable Products, where you'll get access to a full library of our original course content, plus ongoing support through monthly virtual meetups with others in the industry. Just click the link in the show notes or our bio to learn more. We'd love to have you join us. Until next time, keep growing with purpose and stay rooted.